digital twins in Moscow. These questions will be answered together during the quiz from the Department of Information Technologies at the Moscow government. We will have gifts, but we will not invite you to the stage, so it will be all high-tech. Please, guys, show up. Stand up, please. Show your microphone. We have the microphone. You raise up your hand. You will receive a microphone, answer, and you will get the prize. Now, please welcome the head of the Department for the IT Security Center, Evgenia Kuznetsova. We have so many Evgenias here. So we have quiz AI for doctors. Please raise your hands. You will receive gifts. Hi everyone. We have 11 questions on our quiz. Please raise your hand so that you can answer the questions, and we have some merch, some gifts to give away for the correct answer, and we will give a super gift, super prize for the person who is the most active. Okay, here's a warmer up. Are there people who can imagine at least a single day without smartphone? Do we have such people here? No. You have a digital detox day probably today. Oh, you say, no, it's not possible. Maybe yes, maybe not. It is really hard to believe that even 30 years ago, in order to solve a problem, you would have to go from one place to a different place to collect different documents. And you can do this online. You can solve your some household issues and household problems just through smartphone. And I think it's great. So now we move to the first question of the quiz. What is the most efficient way to change, to correct, so to say, negative mark in your school diary? Do you use a blade? Do you try to tear the page off? Do you tell your parents and actually work better? Or maybe you have your personal life hack and you want to share it. We have the person, young man in black, your answer. Why? Obviously, we use the blade. No, this is not correct. We have a lady in white. Front row.
Признаться родителям и исправить двойку.
You should tell your parents and work better and improve your mark. Actually, that's not the most efficient way, so we have fewer and fewer ways to go. Maybe we can share your life hack. You can click on the right, you can go to the source code and you can change it. Okay, maybe, but we are talking about paper textbooks, paper books, not actual.
Вариант номер 2.
And I think the answer is number 2. Answer 2 is correct. You try to use the blue part of the eraser. And this is what I did myself when I went to school. But today, obviously, you do not need this because these books are now electronic and you cannot change anything, which is bad for children, but good for parents. Question number 2. Where do people stand in queue on this photo? Do they want to buy sausages? They maybe want to register in hospital, or they want to get a sign from a Western singer. Answer, they want to get sausages. That's not exactly correct. Answer number 3. That's not exactly correct either, so we have only one option left. This is where people stand in line to register in hospital. Okay, the lady who got the correct, please give her the answer. Now, you do not have to do this physically. You have a mobile application and the portal EMIAS, and you can go and visit your doctor and you don't have to stand in queue physically. Question number 3. Imagine Moscow, 1990s. You are in a trolley bus and you punch, we had these punching machines, you punch a ticket and the number of those, the first three digits equal, sum of the first 3 digits is equal to the sum of the last 3 digits. So what do? Do you remove it? Do you eat it? That's like a ticket. Did you eat it? I think everybody ate it when it was 20, 30 years ago. You are correct, and please give her the gift. We do not have paper tickets. We have
Покажем. Четвертый.
Troika, a virtual card which you can use for transportation. Now we go to the question number 4.
На портале МОСРУ.
What did Muscovites order more than 830,000 times?
Вариант второй.
A song by Mikhail Shuputinsky,
Третий вариант.
Moscow Library Books,
И четвертый вариант.
Taxi to Kostroma and back,
Москвы Савельевны Русичевой.
or maybe Cakes,
Точно первый.
Capital City from Moskovia Rusicheva. And there's a lady who knows the correct answer. Please let her speak.
Это, конечно, первый вариант. Песня Михаила.
Obviously, answer number 1,
Мы, конечно,
song by Mikhail Shuputinsky, the 3rd of September. Well, that would have been great, but unfortunately, there is no such capability to do so through mos.ru.
и это верно.
Answer number 2.
Спасибо большое.
That is correct answer.
МОСРУ есть замечательный сервис.
Mos.ru portal has an amazing service for Moscow libraries.
Там
You should know about the services if you go to libraries in Moscow. You can select a book, you can choose a book, and you can go to different libraries and pick up the book. And if for some reason you want to read the book more, you can extend the time frame
квиза.
to have this book at home. Question number 5. We're nearing the middle of it. Why do cities need digital twins? First, it represents Moscow at the virtual parties.
Копия столицы.
Second, it's an exact 3D copy of the capital city that helps plan construction and managerial decisions.
Новости о
Third, these are online platforms where IT news are published. And 4, that's a digital twin with gigabytes of information that will be stored in the time capsule and opened in 200 years later.
Точно девушка кажется в розовом.
And we have a lady at the back of the audience in pink. I think you were the first to raise your hand. Answer number 2.
Вы
That is correct.
работаете, но я вас не знаю.
You probably work in the Department of Digital
Москвы, которая
of the Ministry of Digitalization of Moscow, but this is correct. Digital twin allows to have a 3D copy of the capital city and helps with construction and managerial decisions.
обитателями Московского зоопарка можно
Next.
наблюдать онлайн на портале
What animals can you watch online?
Попугай Анатолий. Вариант второй.
Anatoly, a special cat,
Катюша. Вариант третий.
or maybe you can watch panda,
Варвара. И четвертый.
maybe you can watch
Пумба.
crabs and anaconda,
Вот мужчина в белом
or
точно поднял руку раньше всех остальных.
meerkat
Ему подойдет,
and
пожалуйста.
a pig, Timon and Pumbaa. So what animals can you watch online from the Moscow Zoo?
Кажется, вариант 4.
I think number 4, Timon and Pumbaa. Unfortunately, no.
Сколько рук? К кому мы идем?
So many people. Who do we go for?
Вариант 2. Манул Тимофей, Панда Катюша.
Answer number 2.
Кончик, пожалуйста.
That's Manu and
Манул Тимофей, Панда Катюша.
Это
Panda Katyusha and Manu Timofey.
на
That is
странице
correct.
zoo.mos.ru.
You can go to zoo.com.ru,
Других вольеров.
and there are broadcasts from this and other areas of Moscow Zoo. You can watch it online.
Зверюшки.
Pandas, capybaras, small elephants, all the other amazing animals. You can watch it online.
Почему
Question number 7.
не падают в
Why do Muscovites do not fall off the
Потому что они прикреплены к поликлинике.
earth
Вариант
that goes around the sun? First of all, because they are part of hospitals.
физики и гравитации.
They have cats at homes because of the laws of physics. And finally, because of their problems and heavy winter boots. So please raise your hand or maybe shout a little so that we can choose the person who we go for.
Давай.
Это Ой, господи, это третий ответ.
Answer number 3.
Это третий ответ.
That is correct.
Пожалуйста, наш приз.
That is correct, and please give this lady the gift. But actually, answer number 1 or answer number 4 with lots of on your shoulders and heavy winter boots could also be reasonable.
Свидетелем запуска
Question number 8. How can you become,
Аполлон.
how can you see different space activities without going out of Moscow? First, you download the application and you go through the quiz, Space Conquerors. Second, you send the application for the Space Preparation Center, named after Gagarin. Third, you go to Moscow Planetarium. And fourth, you go and watch all the space movies, hoping that you will dream about them later tonight.
По-моему, вот женщина в голубом, она очень...
I think the lady in blue really wants to give the correct answer, and I think she was the first one. Please give her the microphone.
Очень хотелось бы пересмотреть все фильмы о
I
космосе.
would like to watch all the space movies, but I still think the answer number 2, you send the application for the center of
В этом случае вы
application of cosmonauts at Gagarin.
увидите.
Unfortunately, you will not be able to see the
Вначале подойдем еще.
joining of spacecrafts in space.
Первый вариант — скачать приложение «Узнай Москву»,
Answer number 1.
и пройти
You download the application with VR and go through the Space Conquerors quiz. That is correct. You can download this Learn About Moscow application.
где можно в
They
режиме
have an absolutely amazing quest, and you can use AR and VR
космические объекты.
technologies and see live space objects.
Можно забронировать
Number 9.
для съемок
How can you
съемочной
book
группе из Индии
a studio in Moscow
русским языком.
from India who do not speak Russian? First, you have to learn Russian. Second, you address an interpreter or translator.
Извините.
Third, you cannot do this. And fourth, you can use an ability of Moskino platform.
Пожалуйста.
We have a gentleman in red.
Четвертый вариант ответа.
Ты
Number 4.
маленький, уже знаешь про киноплатформу.
You are so small, but you know the correct answer. That is true. Please give it up for our gentleman in red who gave the correct answer.
10-й вопрос у нас на экране.
Number 10.
Сейчас мне надо это выговорить. Мегонский бобтейл, Шантили Тиффани.
Meg Gonski, Bobtail, Shakili Tiffany, Okusa Zufelis, Arman, Shapindua, Dutch Brockholmer. What do you think these are? Or who or what? The most rare breeds of cats and dogs. For Moi Pitomets at Mosru, the best places for Barents Sea. These are spells to change.
Рестораны высокой молекулярной кухни.
These are spells, or maybe these are dishes from molecular
Тогда к вам.
cuisine.
Да, вот на желтом пуфиге девушка.
Я думаю,
Yes, we want to give the answer to the lady
Ответ.
that sits on a yellow chair. Answer number 1, that is correct. Do you have a cat or dog? You should use our service, mypet.mosru, on how you can have the first your pet. You can
Для выгула собак и много чего еще.
get easily to, you can apply
Знаете, куда идти.
for the visit to the vet, and you can learn about the ways where you can walk your dogs and cats. And finally, question number 11. To
Надо
authenticate, to authorize in different resources, you have to come up with different
но не безопасно.
passwords. It is
Авторизации в проектах
comfortable, but it's not secure.
вы можете
For Moscow digital ecosystem, you can use
Вариант второй, хлопок.
first fingerprint,
Вариант
you
третий,
can use
заветные слова Сима
clapping your hands,
И вариант
you can use magic spells,
четвертый,
or you can use MosID account. What is the correct answer?
куда-нибудь вот в то крыло сходим.
А вон ребенку отдайте.
Можно ребенку отдать, кстати.
вариант 4, учетная запись МОЗ-IT.
Answer number 4. That is correct. You should use MosID account. You have a single account, 150 different resources, city resources, commercial resources. That is actually safe, secure, and very comfortable, very easy to use. That is the end of our quiz. Thank you very much. And we actually have a great movie which is called Digital Moscow. Alexander Pushnoy is the host, and he has his own charisma talking about Moscow and technologies that changed our capital city and the technologies you probably use every day. You can use this QR code, or maybe you can later watch it online.
Классный фильм.
Oko, Kinopoisk, Cinema, and so on. This is called Digital Moscow, or Moscow in digits.
Супер призов. Я их очень хочу.
Now we have a few super prizes, and I really want to give out those gifts, at least two.
Прекрасной, милой девушке,
I
которая
would like to give this beautiful lady who was so adamant at taking part, and even once she gave the correct answer, for the spirit, for the fighting spirit.
той женщине в голубеньком.
And I would like to give this gift to the lady in bluish dress.
Пошел.
А почему нет?
У нас 7 минут осталось.
Пушин,
можем.
вы сказали Пушин.
We have 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes more. Well, you mentioned Alexander Pushnoy, so I'm talking about music now.
Ну и давайте вот молодому человеку вот этому прекрасному.
And let give this gift to this young gentleman in red.
Прям.
Just look at him, how he's sitting. So distinguished gentleman.
Ну какие же вы смешные, Мост.ру.
You are absolutely amazing, Most.ru. Absolutely amazing service. But this is Moscow.
17 лет назад сюда приехал, она была не такая.
17 years ago I came here and it was completely different. But now this is what it is. I've seen this and this is a miracle.
Одно это моя-
I've seen multiple miracles of them. One of them is my daughter, who is a Muscovite. A different Moscow, a different miracle is a Moscow
в дочь-то.
that changed. I had no idea. I believe in my daughter, but I did not believe in Moscow, and Moscow really changed. The best city in the world. Nobody lied. So once again, the head of the external communication for the Department of Information Technologies of Moscow, Evgenia Kuznetsova.
Спасибо за камышовую
Thank you.
гангрену. Вот.
Thank you for this,
Вот Маруся есть такая рыженькая.
for Marusia, for this special cat, Marusia.
Придумали. Нет, вы ее
Не-не-не, она ее
придумали.
придумала.
Actually,
Нужно завести.
well, she invented this cat, and now, since she invented this cat, now she needs to have this cat, and then they broadcast this cat online.
У вас есть, да? Вот, но через
So you have Alexander Pushnoy, but maybe you can
стендап.
use your AI, you give this, you feed them a lot of stand-up comedians, Alexander Pushnoy and other famous people, so that they can joke around, like you had these jokes that people do not fall off the earth because they are part of the hospital.
Я недавно, в прошлом году, прикрепился наконец к московской поликлинике.
Later, I actually became a part of one of the Moscow hospitals. I left my Karelia
Мошенники звонят.
hospital and I finally got registered here in Moscow, and I was contacted by scammers and they asked for codes, and I thought,
Звонят.
well, actually usually they do not do, they never, doctors never call you, they never ask you for any codes. Please